Welcome, Rowland Hall class of 2020, to your senior celebration chapel. Welcome as well to all the upper school students, faculty, staff, friends, and family who are joining us today. My name is Jeremy Innis. I'm the Interfaith Chaplain for the Lincoln campus here at Rowland Hall. And though I wish I could be here with all of you today, I'm very grateful that we have the chance to hear from our senior class today. When I spoke to students and adults in our community about our end of year events, it was clear to me that this event was more important as ever, as a moment when we could come together as an upper school and mark this moment when we end the school year and end the Rowland Hall career of the senior class. And celebrating these moments is important wherever we happen to be. As we do each year at this chapel, I'm delighted that we will hear from 4 members of our senior class chosen by the faculty to speak about their experience of Rowland Hall and what this place has meant to them. We'll also have the pleasure of hearing from a handful of senior performing artists and poets. And as you enter the webinar, and again at the very end, we'll play a short video of some art pieces created by our senior artists with music by composer Grant Dacklin. And one final note before we begin, because we do not have the benefit of applause today, I encourage everyone who's watching to reach out to our presenters and performers and send them some words of praise and thanks for sharing with us today. So let's begin. Our first speaker will be Ella Bagley, followed by a video of the Collage concert from our orchestra and dancers.
Hello, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Ella Bagley. I came to Rowland Hall as a freshman in 2016. 4 years ago, I never would have thought that the end of my senior year would be online and that I'd miss my last prom, senior assassin, college shirt day, and spirit week. While I'm saddened to miss all of these experiences, I feel like this time has given me the chance to reflect on my year spent here. At Rowland Hall, I've made countless unforgettable memories with new and old friends. Over the years, I've seen the class of 2020 grow into the people we are today, engaged, kind, and intelligent. I've also seen our school and community grow in a positive direction. Rowland Hall has changed a lot since I got here. Small policies, rooms, people, and the community changed. Legendary teachers left, new teachers brought new energy, the dress codes modernized, and we elected our first female student body president. Students at Rowland Hall are given endless opportunities to make change in our community. At Rowland Hall, we have the privilege to talk directly to the administration, and the students' voices are heard. I've seen many students, teachers, and groups, such as the affinity clubs, actualize change in the Rowland Hall community. Recently, the Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion, or JEDI group, led a dinner and dialogue on race relations in the school, creating a conversation between marginalized communities and the administration. Sophia Gorder and students have worked for many years, creating a unique relationship with the Navajo Nation. The Asian, Latinx, and Jewish affinity clubs have created new spaces in the school to bring together marginalized students. We've organized walkouts to protest gun violence in schools, and Ryan Hoagland continuously helps the student body participate in community engagement in the lower school and nonprofits in Salt Lake City. I have been involved in changing Rowland Hall by participating in the Mental Health Peer Educators Program, where we educate freshmen about mental health. My team and I work to create a curriculum to improve the understanding and appreciation of good mental health at our school. Our curriculum will continue for the foreseeable future and make substantial changes in the Rowland Hall community by creating a school where mental health is a topic students are comfortable with and incorporate it into their lives. As I see progress in the world, I'm proud to see progress in our own community. Rowland Hall is by no means perfect, but as students, we have the ability to face some of these issues head on and make a difference. We are always encouraged to put ourselves out there and work to make change if we recognize a way to better our community. However, I've learned that sometimes change isn't what you want it to be. I know none of us wanted to spend the better part of our second semester at home with our parents. But by working through COVID-19 together, the Rowland Hall community has shown me how to flow with unexpected change. Within the past 3 months, all of my teachers have shown me how to accept and adapt to change. They've all put in meaningful effort to switch their curriculums online to give us the highest quality education during a very difficult time in the world. Mr. Birchler has made countless videos to further my understanding of statistics, and LBJ creatively assigned nature walks and poetry to get her students out of the house. They've all shown me how valuable adaptability is in our lives and how to use it. As I head to college this fall, I will carry with me my knowledge of change and adaptability I nurtured here at Rowland Hall. I know all of the graduates of 2020 will go out and do great things. I encourage you, wherever you go, to make change and flow with change. Thank you.
You a question. I know you are shivering in the rain and blood is matted in your throat, but I have traveled far. I did not expect you to be so weary. I cannot see your edges clearly in the rain. Last I was here, you stood firm in granite coldness, and the collar about your neck shone like goldfish. Last I was here, I asked you where I was.
Thank you, Ella, and thank you to our orchestra. Next, we will hear from poet Ben Fowler, followed by our second student speaker, Milo Yeates.
A ship is called dead when its keel is destroyed and it no longer has feet to call it home. A dead ship? Never. Painted with nonsense and color. Bizarre, its design makes no sense. But the big wheel in the front keeps chugging. The wind keeps pushing its sail. The rowers are getting tired and the jungle voyage is just getting started. The captains change. One sinks with another ship. He's called a rat, and rightfully so. The crew are the same, but not the passengers. They shed their skins, leave their old selves behind, old bodies meant to have new adventures. Decorated, well adorned with colors seen only on the 30th consecutive day of rain. Their ship speaks a message of freedom to them. They know how to finish things without knowing how they started in the first place. In the end, what arrived at their destination was this: a beast of the sea without rhyme or reason, ignoring all known laws of nautical science, not rhyming because it's not fun, not because it doesn't want to. without reason because it can't think of a reason to have it. Thank you for making school so interesting for me, class of 2020. We really did it our way.
Hey everyone, my name is Milo, and first of all, what the heck happened? I mean, here we are graduating from high school with plans ready to go to college next year or the year after, but I still clearly remember the first time I met another Roland Hall student on my very first day attending Roland Hall back in 5th grade. Honestly, I think it's a memory that sums up the welcoming community here pretty well. It was just my dad and I standing in the corner of Mr. O's classroom by my desk, not really sure what to do, just sort of waiting for things to get started. But it did not take long before another student walks right up to me, holds out his hand and says, "Hi, my name is Grant Dacklin. Nice to meet you." I think it's crazy. That was almost 8 years ago, and so much has changed in so little time. I finished 5th grade and graduated lower school, flew through 3 years in the middle school, and now have finished 4 whole years in the upper school, and the mere idea of shaking hands with someone is positively disturbing. And yet, so much has remained almost comically the same. The same class that was the first 8th grade class to lose the middle school canned food drive competition in almost 10 years, the class that decided to put an outlawed middle school meme on our freshman year t-shirts, the class that decided to just not have t-shirts junior year, and the class I always thought might just be the first senior class to manage ever losing Battle of the Classes, is now graduating from high school. During a pandemic, that means not only that we didn't win Battle of the Classes, not only that we didn't participate in the most important parts, but also that no one else could either. Please, somebody analyze the symbolism there. But also, this is truly a wonderful and very impressive class. Our occasional uncaringness means that we really know what we do care about and are not afraid to speak up and make change when necessary. We have incredible and consistently high-achieving athletes of all kinds, artists, musicians, dancers, writers, and even debaters ranked on the national level. And perhaps even more importantly, there's not a single person in this class who I don't like. Honestly, every single one of you is a fun, kind person who I've enjoyed interacting with at some point or another. But perhaps that's just a Roland Hall thing, because I can say the same about all the teachers that I've ever had. All the way back to Mr. O in the 5th grade, every year up until now, all my teachers, seriously, every single one, has been amazing. And that reminds me of something that Bill Nye said. He said, if you look back on all the teachers that you liked, I am sure you will find they were very entertaining. This could not be more true. With teachers that know so much about their subjects, are so excited to teach it, and really care about their students, there's really only one thing left to say, which is thank you. Thank you to all my amazing teachers for making my high school and overall Roland Hall experience such an amazing one. It honestly still feels insane to even be saying that, like it's over. Thank you to all the substitute teachers, the cooks and chefs, the athletic coaches, and the rest of the faculty and staff that make this all happen. Thank you to the whole college counseling team, but for me, especially Coral and Jennifer Blake for helping me make and follow through on such an important decision. From what I've heard from my parents about their experience with the same process, it's certain I got a pretty sweet deal. Speaking of my parents, it's because of their hard work that I can attend Roland Hall because, surprise, surprise, I'm certainly not paying for it. So thanks, Mom and Dad. And thank you to all my classmates. It sucks that we can't finish out our journey together, but I'm extremely glad to have done most of it with all of you. The community at Roland Hall is truly like no other, and every single year that I've been lucky enough to be a part of it has been invaluable to me. This place and the people within it have made me who I am, and I am sad to be leaving it, but I am also very excited to see what my future holds and what the rest of this amazing class of 2020 is out there doing for the world. So with that, one big final thank you, and go Winged Lions.
Thank you, Milo. Thank you, Ben. Great journeys there. Great journeys. Next, we will hear or see and hear from our senior dancers who've assembled a video from afar to share with us. And following them, we'll hear from our third student speaker, Chloe Coleman-Houghton.
China says the number of people infected by a mysterious respiratory virus has more than tripled over the weekend.
China's deadly, never-seen-before coronavirus has now been found in 4 other countries, including the United States.
Now, a short time ago, the World Health Organization declared the outbreak an international public health emergency.
I think this could widely spread
One
in the United
person
States,
with coronavirus in King County, Washington State, has
The British
died.
government is urging people to stay home.
New York, California,
There
Illinois,
are
and
not enough
Connecticut
face
all
masks.
ordering non-essential
is
employees to
infecting
stay
and killing
home.
Black Americans in the United States at a disproportionately high rate.
The authority is total.
Protest. The stock market is on pace for its worst week since early October of 2008, when the financial crisis caused the worst week in stock market history.
Infections this winter likely will be
Two children in New York have died from a mysterious illness that coronavirus.
Single day there's an eye-opening news.
Update now on the 5.7 magnitude earthquake that hit a short time ago in Magna. This is a metro township in Salt Lake City, Utah. We are now hearing 55,000 are without power there in the Salt Lake City area, in the valley area there. 5.7 magnitude earthquake. And there are power outages, and we're also now getting word that there is a ground stop at the Salt Lake City airport.
When I hit, I was in the dining room having coffee.
There are reports of damage to homes and buildings, including a homeless shelter in downtown Salt Lake.
And when I realized it was going to be a substantial quake, I stood up to move, and it took me right off my feet. Tested positive out of the blue. This is why the whole concept of tests aren't necessarily right. Toward 50 or 60,000 people. 65,000 people. $75, $80. Or 90,000 people. 100,000, and I think we're going to beat. We have between 100 and 200,000.
Since January, there's been a question mark as to whether people could be infected with COVID-19 twice. Looks like the answer to that is no, it looks like they can't.
Oh my god, I almost just died.
The most important thing is just to get up and do something every day.
Social distancing is bringing families together like never before.
I've just been giving cupcakes out to like police stations and hospitals because of how they're like really nice and they're just putting their lives on the front line.
The good news is that we are testing much more day after day after day.
And daily street dancing keeps this UK neighbourhood ticking. 10 days of socially distant moves and more than 7 million views.
We are actually ramping up testing capacity quite a bit.
Remdesivir has a clear-cut, significant positive effect in diminishing the time to recover.
It's really important to keep our bodies moving.
The overall fatality rate in the United States is really, really far below Italy and Spain.
Residents in an aged care facility in Carindale sang along to a live performance from a distance.
Stop.
The basic supply chains in America appear to remain intact.
Sharon wished her mum a happy 92nd birthday through the window.
Hey, dogs, shh. It's okay.
Are you videoing right now?
Yeah, I am. Jedi.
That was a great video. Thank you to all the dancers and Oliver who put that together. Welcome students, families, and faculty. I'm Chloe, if you don't know. First of all, I want to thank you all for being here. I was asked to speak today about my time at Roland Hall. I've had countless laughs, failures, and great milestones to remember, but the one part I remember most is the relationships this school creates and has created for me. The opportunity to build community inside this school is truly amazing. Whether it's those with teachers, administrators, or other students, I always and will continue to feel welcome. So I guess initially I want to thank Roland Hall for providing a family for the past 17 years. And to the teachers, thank you for the endless meetings and outside help. You know who you are. I still don't know how I had that many questions. But wow, 17 years, that's almost as crazy as my senior year. As I had my last locker clean out about a week ago, I walked the empty hallways, which was so strange. For a moment there, it felt like I was walking through my memories. Chess with Javier, the art song with Ms. Czar, our third grade biography presentations, 7th grade Tetons trip,
sophomore symposium, and now graduation, kind of. I remember walking into a school and seeing my locker decorated for my birthday. And yes, thanks moms, but I was that kid, photos and everything. And now, as my locker is empty and the hallways are empty, I'm ready to move on. As I, along with my peers, begin to prepare for college, I think about the skills I will bring with me, the lessons I have learned from this school. I will bring a sense of curiosity into my future. With the continuous support from my teachers and peers over the years, I've gained enough confidence and independence to explore new situations and ideas. I will continue to critically think about the topics I am interested in. I will continue to practice the skills that Roland Hall has given me and us to thrive in our communities. I can't talk about my high school career without mentioning my sports. And yes, I've been up at every morning meeting to announce pretty much every sport, but high school athletics has been the center of my life for so long. The teams I have played on have allowed me to learn from others in a way I didn't even know was possible, as a player and a person. I really began to understand what it meant to be on a team, to trust those around you, and the trust I have built with this school will never change. I'm sure as most of us seniors are eager to start a new chapter of our lives, we are also sad to leave the places we started to grow up, to leave the people we have learned from and trusted. As I look back on my time here at Roland Hall, I also think of the confidence I have gained. From the timid freshman who was thrown into a state volleyball game to the person I am now. Here, giving this speech in front of all of you is crazy. None of us could have predicted the events this year, but I am so lucky and grateful I was on this journey with this amazing community, a community that made me feel safe, feel supported, feel understood, and loved. If this year has taught me anything, it is that life is like a storm. It's crazy and unpredictable and can even blow over and block the paths we thought we had created. But the storm will end and new paths will uncover themselves. And with the knowledge and skills Roland Hall has provided us, we all will find our own path, our own future. With that, I'll leave you on this quote. High school is like toilet paper. You only miss it when it's gone.
Thank you, Chloe. Great ending. And thank you, Chloe and dancers, for your response to this moment. Wow, great. We will now turn to another poet. Laura Summerfield will share her work with us through film. She will be followed by Stephen Doctorman, our final student speaker, and then a video from our college counseling team.
17. I asked for a moment where nunneries and blue t-shirts outweighed what we lost. Each robbery followed the peel of glue from palms, the ugly laugh over lunch. It would do me good to forget you as you are and turn the page until I know you were nothing more than ink. I would let names detach from eyes and good deeds until confronted with night and each abyss asks who you were before. You were sepia-toned cherry pits, looking back in anger and needing another poem like another hole in your lung. You were each step in a winding stairway, arriving at a closed glass door. You were faces and feelings molding clay into masks of unborn photographs. You were the silent foundation of disaster. If blossoms and sour cream could remember new tastes, it would take this featherless bird home.
Hey y'all, I'm Stephen Doctorman. My senior quote this year was, "I go to seek a great perhaps," the last words of French poet François Rabelais. I think that graduation is a turning point, filled with uncertainty, especially considering the irony that I selected a quote about the unpredictability of the world 7 months before the world itself came to a halt. The last laugh was truly on us, The great perhaps stops for no one, not even graduating seniors. And yet, we're still graduating, whether it be on Zoom or in person. In this period of overwhelming uncertainty, graduation is an in-between space of safety, a time to remember our past and attempt to understand our future. When I think about the last 4 and even last 16 years at Rowland Hall, I consider it a training ground to inculcate the skills necessary to grapple with the great perhaps. The school has both provided and facilitated our learning beyond simple truths about the world. We can name a multitude of facts, such as what the mitochondria is or when the Battle of Gettysburg was, but let's be real. Some of the stuff we've learned probably won't impact our lives. That isn't to say we've wasted our time in high school learning useless facts. Quite the opposite, in fact. Rowland Hall has been providing us the skills to learn, not just the knowledge itself. For sophomore symposium, I wrote about how toy figurines in Britain inadvertently caused World War I. For the junior research project, I talked about how banana advertising in the 1950s targeted teenagers via exotic eroticism. Certainly esoteric topics that I will never, ever reference again, but the research, writing, and communication skills I gained during those projects will always influence how I proceed through future research. They taught me how to pursue my curiosity beyond a simple Google search. In calculus, I was getting schmacked and barely kept up with the class. I learned what an integral is in that class, but I also learned the necessary skill of humility to confront a teacher and ask for help. The school's small nature allows all students to have a voice. Class discussions over Hamlet this year were lively and engaging because everyone could express their interpretations. During those discussions, students learned about the play itself, but also about the ways to speak to a group and persuasively describe their understanding of literature. These are not my stories, but rather everyone's. Every single senior can describe a time when they struggled and asked for help, or a time when they learned the skill of learning rather than just basic facts. Every senior has a parallel story. We went to school, learned some important skills, and now we're graduating. But that doesn't mean we all have the same story. We come from different backgrounds, hold a wide range of ideologies, and have a diversity of ideas that enable people to flourish outside of scheduled classes. Talking at dinner and dialogues, or working within and between affinity groups really demonstrated to me both the capacity for caring and the intellectual diversity we as a school have. Similarly, seeing people have fleshed out and ideological debates in ethics class inspired me. The diversity of opinions present enabled creativity and discovery in and outside of the classroom. We may learn similar things, but this community's ability to synthesize those skills through different lenses uniquely makes our experiences valuable. It's impossible to learn these skills alone. Our parents, teachers, and classmates all helped us make us become better teachers, or better people and scholars. We are the class of 2020, which is both admittedly a pretty cool year to graduate, but also holds a greater importance. Around New Year's Eve, people were constantly making jokes that this year I'm going to have 20/20 vision. And I know that basing my graduation speech on a pun that was relevant for a week at best 5 months ago is so ridiculous, only I would try it. But hear me out. In the face of overwhelming uncertainty, we can have 20/20 vision through a different lens, so to speak. We will almost never be able to predict what comes next. And yet, the skills we've learned, the people we've met, the community that has raised us, has provided us internal markers to understand the world. As a class, we don't have to know what comes next, because we will always have the strong moral and intellectual understandings of the world that will guide our way through the fog. But our story doesn't end at self-actualization or knowing what we believe in. I think Mr. Horry said it best recently. We're a grade, if not a community, that challenges structures. If there's something in the world that we find unjust or wrong, we use the skills we have to change it, whether by challenging the administration or participating in nationwide protests. While Milo correctly acknowledged the apathy and cynicism present in our grade's participation in groups' activities, all of us have the potential to better the world around us, and at least have some willingness to do so. This is possibly the last time I'm going to talk to most of y'all, so I spent a lot of time considering how to end this speech. It's terrifying to consider that my last conversation with some people was all the way back in March. Indeed, saying goodbye is one of the skills I've yet to learn properly, and serves as a reminder that our jobs of studying are not yet done, and quite possibly never will be. But I eventually settled on a quote I want to leave everyone with, from the same John Green book I stole my senior quote from. The last words of Simone Bolivar were the exclamation, "How will I ever get out of this labyrinth?" I can't tell you what your individual labyrinth is. Mine is similar yet parallel to yours, just like the stories that bind us. But I hope in the twisting, turning, maze-like future that the world has in store for all of us, Our time together has readied you not just to survive the great perhaps, but thrive within it. Thank you.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Woo, child, tired of the foolish. Gone, dust your shoulders off. Keep it moving, yes, Lord. Step into some new kicks. In there, swimwear, going to the pool quick. Come now, come dry your eyes. You know you a star, you can touch the sky. I know that it's hard, but you have to try. If you need advice, let me simplify. If he don't love you anymore, just walk your fine self out the door. I do my hair.
Hi, seniors. I know that I never anticipated wishing you all a congratulations from my basement, but even though that's where we are right now, the pride, the joy, and the enthusiasm I have for the class of 2020 is not diminished in the least. I could not be more proud of everything that you all have accomplished and of the strength and resilience that you have all demonstrated. I know that the last few months have been really hard, and the next few don't offer any more certainty than the last few have offered. But your ability to weather this storm is something that will really take your class as a group and you as individuals far in your future. So next Saturday, as we're standing there and cheering you all on as you drive by us on the McCarthy campus, please know that we believe in you. We know that you are all going to accomplish your dreams and your goals, whatever they may be, and that we are still right here behind you, your biggest fans, the same way we have been all this way. So congratulations, class of 2020. You deserve it, and we cannot wait to celebrate you in person when all of this is over. We wish you all the absolute very best, and don't be strangers. We can't wait to see you and hear all about your adventures post Roland Hall.
Check my nails, baby, how you feeling? Hair tall, check my nails, baby, how you feeling? Feeling good as hell, baby, how you feeling? Woo, girl, need to kick off your shoes, gotta take a deep.
Hey seniors, I can't believe it's almost time for graduation, and before you know it, you'll be off to college, gap year, or something really exciting. We are all so proud of you and how you handled this crazy semester with confidence, courage, and grace. You gained grit, you learned how to live sequestered in your room with just your laptop, maybe learned how to cook or bake a loaf of sourdough bread, and you stayed up to all hours of the night because your sleep schedule is so off. Well, friends, thanks to COVID-19, you are well prepared for college. Continue to do great things, be kind, be brave to try something new and suck at it, and continue to make Roland Hall proud. We miss you all and wishing you the brightest of days ahead. Cheers to the class of 2020.
Saving for you, boss up and change your life. You can have it all, no sacrifice. I know we did you wrong, we can make it right. So go and let it all hang out tonight, 'cause we don't love you anymore.
Hi, seniors. Oh my gosh. I wish you guys knew how much we missed you. I miss hanging out in the college counseling office with you. I miss one-on-one meetings with you. I miss refilling the candy bowl 10 times a day. I know it's not a surprise to you guys that the class of 2020 will never be forgotten. The world needs your talents and your ambitions and your kindness and your friendship and your expressions of gratitude now more than ever. And so actually I'm so excited for you because you guys are going to take the world by storm. You're going to do incredible things. And so go forward, persevere, and enjoy the adventure and the wild ride that lies ahead. And please stay in touch. We want to hear from you. Congratulations, class of 2020. You did it.
Thank you, Laura, Stephen, and our college counselors for those contributions to our chapel today. I am so just touched by the reflections that we've heard, by the wisdom, the humor, and some of the personality of this class that I've seen in our time together. in this chapel. And I want to end with something that I'm going to take a cue from Stephen. And he mentioned the difficulty of making a goodbye. And for all of us in this community, especially those of us who've worked with seniors this year and seniors yourselves, think about what it means for you to make a good goodbye with each other and with this community. And for all of us, that will look different. I hope that this chapel can be part of that for you. And I encourage you again to reach out to each other and your senior class, and for family, friends, faculty, staff, to reach out to seniors and make a good goodbye, the best we can this year. I am so proud of you all, and just thrilled that we were able to gather together in this space today and take a moment to mark the end of the year. Thank you all for being here. We will now turn to our yearbook dedication, and first hear from our upper school principal, Ingrid Gustavson.
Good afternoon, everyone. I think I'm going to have a smile on my face for a very long time, hopefully for the rest of the afternoon for sure. That was amazing, seniors. I'm always so impressed by your outstanding talents, and I was thrilled to be able to hear from you and see you one more time at your most thoughtful, your most articulate, your most creative and compassionate. A huge thank you for embracing this moment despite all of the challenges. Thank you also to Jeremy Innis for spearheading this effort to host Senior Celebration Chapel despite not being able to be together at school. A big thank you to Nick Banyard and Patrick Godfrey for their always gracious technical support. We have one final special presentation for you. This is another one of our end of year traditions. It's the yearbook dedication. This year we've recorded the dedication and would love to show it to you in just a minute. First, one quick update on the actual yearbook, which we usually have by now, but due to complication in workplace rules because of COVID-19, our publishers are weeks behind in getting them to us. We will notify you when they're ready, and you'll have the opportunity to either pick them up or we can have them sent to you. In the meantime, they have given us access to a virtual signing module that you can do remotely, and you have either already gotten some information about this in your email or you will shortly. Also via email, you should have received the final newspaper of the school year, so please enjoy that as well. And now on to the dedication. Thank you to Ann Wolfer, the yearbook team, Colin Wolf, and Peter Chase for making this possible. And especially thank you to our honoree, who has done so much for Rowland Hall and for all of us through his leadership and his friendship. Here we go.
In the history of Rowland Hall, few educators have had as great of an effect on our school as Alan Sparrow. Over the course of 28 years, he committed every day of his professional life to solidifying a strong educational foundation for the future of our students. He motivated, prepared, and educated, all the while building the wonderful, compassionate Rowland Hall we know today. In this spirit, we are proud to dedicate this year's yearbook to Alan Sparrow. Alan's background is unique. A concert producer in college, followed by years of teaching and service as an upper school principal in Cincinnati before joining Rowland Hall. That unique perspective on life and doing things just a little bit differently was exactly what our school needed. It is hard to imagine an athletic event, performing arts concert, or student assembly where Alan was not front and center in the audience. He led the creation of our new McCarthy campus for the lower school, along with a separate middle school and much needed improvements for the upper school. He recruited and retained top-notch faculty, enhanced curriculum with an eye towards technology integration, and elevated our educational standards. This pursuit of excellence has led to an outstanding national reputation. His presence will continue to be felt across the school for decades to come. Throughout his 28 years, while preparing our school for the future, he never forgot his true mission, serving and inspiring our students while preparing them for the future. Now we wish him an exciting new chapter in his retirement filled with family and travel. Alan, thank you for your service, your professionalism, and your commitment towards this great school. It was an honor having you lead us forward.
Am I on now? Yes. I I just learned about this shortly before the assembly, and I can't tell you how much it means to me. I think as an educator, there's nothing more than having students acknowledge you or show some appreciation for your efforts to help. For all of us, this has not been the spring we wanted, in particular for the seniors, all the things that you didn't get, but all the classes didn't get things they wanted. Well, for me, this was also my last spring, and there were going to be a number of events where things would have happened, but nothing that would have happened at any of those events would have meant as much to me as you dedicating the yearbook to me. As an educator, this is what you really care about, how the students feel. So thank you very much, all of you, but class of 2020 in particular. I leave with you, I graduate with you. You're a special class to me, and you deserved it. So thank you very much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate this.
Thank you, Alan, for your many years of service to this community. We do appreciate you deeply, and we'll miss you next year. Thank you again to all of our panelists on this webinar, our speakers, our artists, musicians, and all of those who put in the time to prepare things for us to view today. This reminds me what makes this community great. And the work of all of you seniors reminds me of what makes this school beautiful. Go in peace.